What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. I am Sam.
And I am Taylor. So glad to have you back on this Friday. I love podcasts.
Me too. I look forward to it every time.
So happy. This is my favorite day of the week. Like, I love it.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the episode, we do have a guest on this week, which is really exciting because we have not had a guest on in a very long time. We have Shelby Sacco on, and she is a entrepreneur like ourselves. She actually started a brand called Memoir. I hope I'm saying it right. But basically, she came across my For You page on TikTok where she was just speaking her mind and the truth on everything behind supplements, especially greens, and the way they promote things and how it can be kind of toxic and how they maybe don't pick the best influencers for promoting greens. So we're going to dive really deep into this episode. We're going to talk about the benefits of greens, why you should take greens, what to look for when you're trying to find a greens supplement. So stay on the lookout for that. But before that, we are going to do our weekly catch up.
Yeah, and before that, I need my drink.
Yes, let's crack it open. Oof.
The sweet, sweet sound. I'm wearing my Poppy sweatshirt, drinking a Poppy, literally not sponsored. I'm just addicted to soda, guys. Like, healthy soda, normal diet soda. To me, nothing hits like an actual, real Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper, Coke Zero. Like, those obviously hit, but, like, I feel a little bit better about myself if it's a Poppy or an Olipop. But nothing hits like the real thing.
Yeah. I'm going to be having this. I have an Olipop right now. And then later today, if you guys have not gone to Trader Joe's and gotten the sugar-free root beers, they are so good. So I'll be having one of those later with my dinner because I usually save my Olipops for dinner, but I got some root beers in the fridge. So we'll be having one of those later.
I get asked all the time about the artificial sweetener stuff. Like, but like, how do you feel about like, the artificial sweetener? Like, oh, you drink diet soda? Guys, I literally couldn't give less of a fuck. Like, one thing about me is I do not care about artificial sweetener. And if that's going to kill me early, then I did that to myself. But I literally don't care.
Yeah. I mean, there are worse things in the world to be putting into your body.
There are worse things. And also, like, I watch a lot of Stephanie Buttermore. Or I used to, rather. And she does very science-explained videos. And she did one talking about that. And the studies actually say it's totally safe. So, yeah. Just the artificial sweetener haters are so annoying. I actually wrote notes for the catch-up this time.
There you go. I don't have that many this time, but that's okay.
I only have 4.
We had an eventful week. I'm now on 2 weeks of having boobies, which it feels like it's been like a month or 2, or it just feels like it's been a very long time. I have my follow-up tomorrow, 2-week follow-up. They're going to be taking the stitches out. So right now I don't have much updates for you. Next episode, I'll hopefully have updates for you if I can like work out, do some lower body things. But I'm just excited to get the stitches out because stitches out means I can sweat and, you know, just feel like I'm actually doing something with my body.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a crazy journey for you.
I know it has. The girlies are girling.
The girlies are huge.
Wait, I do want to say one thing too. I actually like absolutely love and adore each and every one of you that engages with me on any platform. Like, literally, you guys hype us up like no other, and it just feels so good knowing that we've built such a great, strong community of girls. And like, I'll say something and like on here and then it gets brought to another platform, and I just love that because it's like I didn't even have to bring that up on TikTok and you guys are already talking about it. Like, I love it. So keep it up, and if you aren't, you know, engaging and, you know, getting involved, get involved because it's just so much fun, and I love engaging, especially on TikTok.
Also, like, we see it and we notice. Like, yes. My favorite thing is when people answer questions for me. Right now it's because I started eating eggs. I think in the last episode I said I was going to start eating eggs, and now I have. And I get comments all the time. What is that, an egg? And like, before I can even read it, someone's like, you should listen to their podcast. Like, she talked about it there. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, you guys,
yeah, that happens a lot too.
You guys are just so with it. And like, I really see it and I appreciate it. And any type of social media engagement, like, doesn't go unnoticed. Like, I feel like people may think that content creators, like, this is just an example. When we post a post on the podcast Instagram, we'll literally be like, oh my God, did you see? Like, it literally like already has like 300 likes. That's so good. Like, look at all the comments. Like, what this girl said is so funny. Like, it actually like, means a lot to us. We're not just like, oh yeah, like got 1,000 likes. Like, of course it did.
Yeah.
Like, we're like,
we literally crack up at your comments.
We like take it like really, really like personal and to heart. Like, not just like a number, but more so like, oh my God, 1,000 people, girls, listeners like this. It's not just like, oh, a number, like, oh, whatever, it got 100 likes. It's like, it actually like means a lot, especially on the podcast page.
Especially when we put a lot of effort into it too.
Yeah, it's like
the podcast graphics, like, I put like thought behind them.
And
I'm
it's
like,
the podcast stuff on the Instagram takes work. Like today I posted a picture like, okay, I took it in my mirror, like easy. But like those reels, like writing the captions on those videos, like guys, I do those manually. Like that's not an app. Like I am literally like, what's that person in a courtroom that like types up the like, which like I like type out that whole shit word for word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like the graphics take like effort. Like the stuff that goes on that page is like really well thought out shit. So you should follow it. It's a lot of work put into that page, so you should give it a follow. But anyways, we digress.
But yeah, we went out last weekend. It was like an all right weekend. You know, one of those weekends where you're like so hyped to go out, especially me because I hadn't drank in, like, I haven't drank this year. Like going into February was my first time drinking because I did dry January, and I was so excited. And don't get me wrong, like I did have fun, but I was expecting more out of it. Like we went and got margs with our friends at this place called Donata's. It's kind of like outside of the city. It was our pregame. We went, just Taylor and I and like 3 of our guy friends. We got, did they get a pitcher on the end? No, we just got a bunch of margs and tacos and chips and stuff. But let me tell you, I was feeling myself when we left. Like I was drunk.
And last weekend made me realize, I think what I would have rathered, since it was just a small group, we didn't have like a crazy like thing. We knew we were going out. Like I would have rather honestly like got the margs and then like hung out like after and like chilled. Like going out is so like,
but the thing is like I like going out and hopefully like having a good time. Like I like taking the risk of like
taking the risk.
Yeah, like I like taking the risk of like, okay, like I'm about to have like a fold of a night or am I about to have a crazy night?
I guess my thing is like I got too drunk. Like I just like hate feeling too drunk. Like and it leaves me like scarred for like a week. Yeah. So like I have like zero self-control, like absolutely none when I drink, and it like I hate it. Like I hate it. And like I don't know, like it needs to like never happen again. And like I've said that a few times, but like this is like just the reality of being 22 years old, you know? You live and you learn, and we're not perfect, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
But I just like keep fucking myself over, and then for literally the next week I'm like anxious about the fact that I got too drunk. And it like shit, like I don't like it. So I think as long as I don't, and I was doing really good with it those few months, like I was doing so good with like not drinking a lot, like going out and not drinking a lot. I was doing so good. I just need to fall back into the line.
You do really bad at saying no to a free drink. I know. Like someone will hand me a free drink and I'm like, no, I don't want that.
No, I can't.
Like,
see, but in the moment I'm like, I don't think in the moment that I'm drunk. Yeah. Until it's too late. Yeah. It like hits me like a truck.
And also, I did a really good job last week of getting a water at the bar. I need to do better.
I got water at the bar too.
I need to get like better at doing it after every drink.
I did it at the bar for like
the
3
first
times.
thing. Like we bar hop a lot, so like maybe instead of getting a drink directly when we get there, getting a water right when we get there.
No, I did that like 2-3 times in the beginning of the night, and I was like, oh my god, look at me, like I'm fucking great. Okay, well,
I'm invincible.
Like, yeah, like I'm fucking the queen of health. Like, are you kidding me? Like. Like I got a lemon drop and a water. Like I'm literally the queen of health. Can you like promise? Like, can you like be on my ass?
Yeah, I will.
Like be on my ass.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that like you were the one walking over with all the shots for all of us. Like I can't say no to you.
No. But like be on my ass. Like literally be on my ass, because the thing is, the other people like they're so just like do it.
Yeah,
do it.
Our guy friends are the fucking worst.
And like we're do it to each other, but like not when it's like,
100%. When it's like when it's like safety's at risk, you know.
Like if it's not serious, like
Well, so she kind of like has blurs in the night, and like I kind of do too. Like that selfie we took together, I don't remember taking that. Yeah. But what doesn't help is one of our friends works at Buford's, and every time we show up there, first thing when we walk in the door, he hands us a drink. We're like, and I'm like, I need to have a conversation with him. We need to sit down and be like, yo, you need to stop doing that, because like it's already past midnight and you're handing me a free drink.
Well, no. Well, now we have our way of doing it perfectly, and I think our night out is going to be way better.
Yeah.
Guys, we got flasks.
We did get flasks.
Wait, but I feel like I have to like whisper because this is a secret, because you're not allowed to do it. Yeah. We're just going to like bring our own alcohol into the bars. And then guess what? I can put a controlled amount of alcohol in there. And that could be my alcohol. Like,
yeah.
Like,
we're finessing the system. Don't tell anyone.
So that way I won't take any alcohol that's not from that flask. And I know like, okay, there's 4 shots in the flask.
Yeah.
And that's 4 drinks, and that's it. Like, that's it. Once the flask is empty, the flask is empty.
Yeah. Also, I want people to stop. Anyone that has gone into breast augmentation, stop coming into my DMs telling me what I can and can't do. Because I went out that past weekend and I got a little anxious because someone commented on my TikTok being like, girl, like, you need to be wearing a sports bra. Like, you shouldn't be going out right now wearing like that top. I've like communicated back and forth with my surgeon like on like what's okay and what I can and can't do. And I was chill. Like, I was chill to go out.
You're fine.
I know. I'm fine. Boobies are fine. But anyways, what I was going to say is that I definitely went way too long without wearing a bra, without wearing a sports bra. Because that
so they
top,
were right. No kidding.
Well, no, they were
they
were saying it because they were saying that my boobs were gonna drop and fluff too soon,
right?
And then that can cause
I'm just fucking with
you. Anyways, so I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, guys, leave me alone. It made me a little anxious. Anyways, but later into the night, I was wearing a corset top, but that was really tight, and my boobs started to like hurt. I was like, oh my god, like my boobs hurt. And then on top of my boobs hurting, my feet were hurting because I was wearing the most painful heels ever. Pointed toe heels. So cute looking, but fucking shoving your toes into those shoes hurt so bad. So then me and Hunter and Michael all go sit down at a table, and I'm like, I cannot like stand up anymore. I need to sit down. We're sitting at Buford's like in the corner, and then all of a sudden Taylor comes running over with Connor, and like they have like a bunch of shots in their hand. I'm like, oh,
we
goodness.
came right over with the shots.
Yes,
directly.
Yes, you came.
Oh, then yeah, we did. Okay, I didn't realize that was when we brought them. Yeah, because we were at the bar for so long.
Yes, you were.
And then we were like, "Where are they?" And we turned, and all of you guys were just like waving.
Yeah,
your arms. I was like, "I see them."
Yeah, because you were like, I could see you like in the distance. Like, where are they?
I wasn't expecting you guys to be sitting at a table. So when I looked at you guys,
were
and you guys
me.
were at a table, it threw me off. I was like, "Oh, they're at a table."
Yeah, my feet were in pain. And so we're sitting there, and then I just see them walking over with those shots. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then one of my best, like, girlfriends. So I have a girlfriend that actually I went to college with. We played lacrosse together. And she moved down here a few months ago. And so she's kind of been in our friend group, but she works a lot, so she's never out with us. But anyways, she was standing at the table as well. And luckily, she was standing at the table because when everyone was handing the shots, I was like, no, I'm not taking this. And then, like, one of our guy friends who's, like, the worst influence and, like, always is just like, do it, come on, like, have some fun, loosen up. He's, like, screaming at me, like, take the shot, come on. I'm like, no. And then I look at Hope, and I'm like, fucking take the shot. Like, I do not want this shot. So she took it for me, but everyone else took their shots.
Yeah, no, down horrendous. I'm never doing that again. Like, and this is... I solemnly swear I don't have a Bible.
You know, I don't... Religious. The thing is, I don't trust you on that because you literally couldn't even survive dry January.
Here's the marvelous thing that I have concluded.
You're allowed to talk.
No, I've concluded this like with myself and alcohol, and like I think I realized what it is. I like a drink, okay? I would rather like drink more than one times a week in terms of like a glass. Like I'd rather have a glass of wine more frequently, but less drinks when I go out. Yeah. So the weekly average of drinks is still the same. Like I would rather grab a pretty cocktail at dinner more often because I do like a drink than get a lot of drinks in one night. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense.
The weekly average of drinks would still be like the same, but that's what I realized. Like dry January, you know what I wanted? Like I wanted a glass of wine. Like I enjoy wine. I really wanted one. Like a pretty drink. Like
I hate wine. Yeah. Well, I don't hate wine. I just don't
know
what wine
I
like.
would rather like I don't know, like I'd rather my drinks be more like
I'm a social drinker. I'm not a like casual drinker.
Yeah, I don't know, like, and I like to socially drink, but I just like not that much because it literally makes me hate like my entire fucking week when I do it.
Yeah.
Like I really need...
You also stay out really, really late.
Oh, yeah, I know, but that doesn't even really bother me.
It probably isn't a good mix. Like, it's probably not, like, a good mix in everything. It doesn't help.
But, like, last time, like, there's such hilarious things that happen late at night. And, like, sometimes it's just, like, so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then be on my ass. You need to be on my ass.
Okay. Guys, you heard it here first. We're going to go on this next weekend. And then I'm going to say I tried. And then she's going to be like, something's going to happen. We'll see. But yeah,
when there's no podcast episode because we had a fight in the middle of Buford's, you know why?
I know, seriously. But that was our Friday night. We've been going on Friday nights. So if you are visiting Austin and you want to see us out, we've now changed to Friday nights. I've had a few girls comment on comment on my stuff saying, "I'm visiting Austin. Like I hope I run into you." So just know, Friday nights is when we've been going out.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, and then this past Saturday, we actually went to a hockey game. I was so excited to go. We woke up. So I woke up not like hungover at all, and I was like, I'm actually like The weather was nice. I'm ready to go. So we were sitting there and just booked hockey tickets to the AHL game for the Texas Stars because we don't have any professional sports here in Austin, which
is lame.
literally a fold.
That is okay. Austin is missing the beach and professional sports.
Yeah,
if Austin had the beach and professional sports, like I would never leave.
I don't know. I feel like the lake though kind of balances it out.
No, but like the beach and the ocean, like I need it.
Yeah. Anyways, the hockey game, we got 2 tickets. So it was a Saturday night game and it was completely booked up. So we were like, do you think if we just buy 2 tickets that like aren't together, we can like sit together?
Same section.
Yeah, same section. She was in Q, I was in J. We thought wrong. That game was completely sold out. I thought people were just, buy tickets and maybe not go. We were playing musical chairs the entire game.
We were literally we looked like fucking idiots. But to be fair, like other people were kind of doing it too.
Yeah, other people were sitting on my seat.
Someone was in our wrong seat. Yeah. There was a whole mess going on, but we literally couldn't get seats together. And then of course, every now and then there's like the one Karen being like, "This is my row." Like, okay, lady, I'm trying to get up. Like, it's just a hockey game. Like, it's really gonna be okay. Like, no one paid over like $30 for these tickets. Like, you're really gonna live. Like, it's really gonna be okay. It wasn't even like a big arena, so it's not like if you were in the wrong row, you're like way up in a different section. Like, it was small. Like, you can see the game same distance from all.
I want to retry. So they have another home game at the end of the month, and I do want to retry going.
Oh, 100%.
And like actually enjoy watching the game because I love watching hockey. Like,
100%. I would.
It would have been
definitely
so much better. And we had like other like things just going on like in the back of our head that we were like, we just need to get out of here.
Yeah, it was just like a big like clusterfuck.
Yeah,
and we were like, you know what? It's been like half the game. We're done. We're out.
We're out of here.
It was just like a big mess.
What did we do on Sunday?
On Sunday, Sunday is going to be a good segue into one of my updates.
Okay, yeah, what is that?
So Sunday we went to the park, which is so fun. Zilker, which is like the big park in Austin, was so packed. It literally looked like ACL was happening.
No,
like,
it really did.
It was packed. There was so many people, and it's because the weather has been trash. So the first sunny day, every single person that lived in the city went to the park. It was wild, but the vibes, like I saw the place, I was like, oh my God, I love this. Like there's dogs running around and people playing volleyball. Like it was magical, like magical sight to see. But we get out of the car and there's this really cute, big, giant dog right by there and like his kind of cute owner walking it. And I was like, oh my God, your dog's so cute. Look at that Riz. Like I was like, oh my God, your dog's so cute. And then he was like, yeah, he's cute, but he's stupid. And he didn't hear me say this, and I go, oh my God, like me. But he didn't hear me say that. And I was like, oh, that was funny. But whatever, like, and we just keep walking, and obviously we're kind of behind them because, like, we got out of the car at the same time, and, like, Macro's kind of, like, sniffing his dog. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm in love with that man. Like, I just fell in love with him. Like, just, like, his energy. Like, some guys just give off, like, a cool energy, and I'm like, oh my God, I love you. Like, actually, we're getting married, so get with it or get out. And then I was like, oh my God, like, should I try to go find where they went? Because I thought they were going to sit near us, and they didn't. And I'm like, fuck it. Like, let's just go on a little lap. And then they're sitting with girls. And I was like, damn it. Like, fuck. Like, even if I was going to get the courage to talk to them, you can't go talk to a guy that's sitting with some girls. No. And then, so, like, whatever. Like, never going to see him again. He comes up on my Hinge. And I was like, Sam, that's the guy and the dog. Like, is it not? Because his dog was on his Hinge. And I was like, that's literally him. So I liked his profile. I was like, I forgot what I said. I was like, did I not just meet you at Zilker on Sunday? And then he said, yeah, and that he was going to ask for my number, but he didn't want to be creepy. So now we're getting married.
Yeah, but also say what else you said because it was smooth.
Oh, that you told me to say?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me, Sam told me to say this, so I said it. I'm trying to be more, ballsy when it comes to,
No, but for real, we need to
dating.
be more ballsy as women because, guys, men are literally so scared of us.
Yeah.
He said, like, everything.
He said, ha, can I tell you a secret? And I said, yeah, what is it? And it was that he wanted my number. And I said, well, you should have, so we could have just skipped this talking part on Hinge. And then I just texted him my number.
And now they're texting.
And now we're getting married.
Yeah.
So
that was
my first, update. And it was just, so funny. I was like, oh, my God, this is literally the guy from the park.
Yeah. I don't think I have many boy updates, to be honest. But I'm really hoping to go on a date with a fellow friend this week. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I want to go on a date really, really bad, and I've been going crazy on Hinge. So if one of these people doesn't ask me to go get drinks, I'm gonna be really upset.
You're like, I'm over it.
I'm literally over it. Like I've put myself out there completely for someone to be like, you want to go get drinks? Want to go get a coffee? And like they just don't want to ask me out. So
Yeah. I have like the bubbles in my throat from this drink. Anyways, I wrote down humans locked in room for 5 hours because the other day we were just like talking in the car because I will leave Mac for like, I wrote 5 hours because I think I left him for like 5 hours because we went to the park. And I was like, oh, fuck, like I hope he didn't like shit in the house because like if I was...
she goes, but it's not his fault. Like, if you locked a person up in a room for 5 hours, and I was like, they wouldn't shit. Like, you wouldn't take
I wouldn't shit on the ground.
Like, you wouldn't need to, you shit every 5 hours? That's crazy.
And then I'm just like thinking about it because like Mac will like shit like inside in this one specific spot every single time.
He did it today in front of my goddamn face. Like I was sitting on the couch and Sam was not home and he's like literally just like staring me dead in the eye, like taking shit on the floor. And I'm like, be so for real right now.
It's so bad. I don't understand. Like
never pee.
He never pees, but he'll be so good for like 2 to 3 weeks straight, and then all of a sudden there's like 3 episodes in a row where he's just shitting inside, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I literally bring you out like at least 10 times a day. Like it's actually insane. So yeah, I mean, I do sometimes feel bad for him when we're gone for a really long time. Like I'm like, okay, like I know you can't hold it in, like you can't help it, like gone for 5 hours, like that's a long time to be left alone. Like if I was a human locked in a room for 5 hours, like I'd probably shit on the ground too.
Yeah, and like that's just crazy that Sam shits every 5 hours. Speaking of pets, Phineas turned 1 yesterday on the 7th, so now we have 2 1-year-old animals.
Yeah, we do. Dude, Phineas has been going crazy with his zoomies like late at night. Like I've never experienced / seen it like so bad.
Yeah, so my cat is like a psycho devil child, and like I love him nonetheless, but like he's so crazy. And some people are like, oh, I hate cats. Mostly like guys that like want to try to like be on my good side. They're like, but your cat's chill, and I'm like, no. I'm like, I get what you're saying, as in some cats are literally like Phineas wants your attention. Like Phineas wants you to pick him up. Phineas wants you to pet him. Like he wants you to be giving him all of his love. And some cats will literally like hiss at you and like don't want to be near you and like hide under beds. Like no, he wants your attention. He wants your attention so bad, he will do everything in his power to make you look at him, whether it's like, I don't know, hitting you in the face, knocking your drink over, scratching at your feet. Like he's like, look at me, play with me, touch me, please. And if you're not, I'm gonna mess up every single thing you're doing. So he's not chill, no. But that's my baby.
Yeah.
And I love him, and he is a psycho animal. And it's just so funny when a guy is trying to be on my good side, like, your cat's chill. I'm like, no, he's not.
He's not.
You'll come to learn.
I get literally scared. I'll look over and he has like his zoomy eyes, and I'm like, oh, stay away from him.
His pupils get big, like he's like on drugs, and he's like, and he'll just be in one spot and just jump.
He just looks like he has like cocaine eyes. Like anytime like his eyes are like super big, like his pupils are super big, and he's just like he's ready to go.
Yeah. I have a little workout update, which I know is like a sensitive topic because you can't work out right now. So
I know,
really
it's
sorry.
okay.
But I benched 148 yesterday,
which
is big for the program. We do 150, I think, next week, and then I max out in like 2 weeks after that. So huge for the program. Really just getting up there. Speaking of what I bench, I wanted to bring up the combo we had with our friends.
Yeah, what
because
was that?
we were talking about I was talking about how I wanted to get bigger. I was like, I should probably like weigh around 150, I think. And literally like their faces go, what? Like, but you'd be like, so like that'd be so much. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, how much do you think I weigh now? And he was like, they're like, I don't know, like 105. I was like, be so fucking for real. Like he literally thought I meant I was gonna gain like 50 pounds. Guy, I weigh between like 135 and 140. I don't really care to tell people how much I weigh.
Yeah.
But like so it's only gaining like 10 pounds. But like they thought I was gonna they thought I weighed like 100 pounds. I was like, you thought I was gonna gain 50 pounds? Like you genuinely thought I weighed like 105. Like, be so real. And we just learned guys don't know how much girls weigh.
Yeah.
Like he was like I literally said 150. And I was like, why is that so weird? Like, it's only like 10 pounds. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, no, I literally thought you weighed 100 pounds. I was like, so you thought I benched like 140 and weighed 100 pounds. I was like, I bench 140 because that's like body weight, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be crazy if I benched 140 at 100 pounds. So it was just like a really funny conversation.
Yeah, they were mind blown.
They were literally mind blown that I didn't weigh 5 pounds.
Yeah. Insane.
I was like,
and then we showed them pictures of us when we did weigh like 105. And I was
Yeah.
like, I showed them a picture. I'm like, this is literally me when I did weigh that. I look like a different person. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I can believe it now. I'm like, well, anyway.
the side by side, they were like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense. But I was like, so then after that, I was like, oh my God, like, it was so like, so you think I'm skinny?
Yeah.
Like, that audio, I was like, you think I weigh 105 pounds? Like, wow, like, that's crazy. I would cry if I weighed 105 pounds because I'd probably be dead. I don't think I can weigh 105 pounds.
Yeah. My last thing I put on here is Alex being canceled. Dun, dun, dun. Anyways, I put this on here because we were literally ranting about it on our couch the other day because people have like really tried switching on Alex Earl, and like it just goes to show like how crazy and toxic social media is. There was like what's the anonymous account? Dumois. I guess somebody submitted saying like, oh my God, she unfollowed like another influencer on the brand trip, and she was being like the mean girl on the brand trip, like not talking to everyone and like all this stuff. And it's just like, it really is crazy. If that's fake, like how easily people will just believe and like run with something and just like talk about it on end and like all of a sudden hate someone just because of something they've heard. And it sounds really familiar.
Sounds so fucking
Sounds
familiar.
so fucking familiar.
Sounds so familiar. And then the other crazy thing is what we were saying. Let's say it is true in all circumstances where someone just said this girl was not being the nicest to this girl, right? I feel like that happens with girls. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, she's being mean. You're allowed to not like people.
Yeah.
You're allowed to not like people. You're allowed to have a bad day. You're allowed. Who said the girl that she was being mean to was a nice friend? Like, you don't know their scenario. You don't know their dynamic. You don't know what maybe that girl said to her. You don't know those people like well enough, probably, because if you're just on a brand trip, those aren't your best friends.
Yeah.
Like, you probably just met them. Like, you're allowed to not like people. And I think it's weird that with influencers, like, just because you're not like the queen, most nicest person everyone's ever seen, like people would rather you be fake nice to every single person you meet than just be a human being.
Yeah.
And that's not saying to be bitchy to everyone. Of course not. Like, be polite, be nice, but not everyone. Like, you're not gonna be besties with everyone.
I say this all the time too with like comparing social media with everything you see on social media in class. So if you have a class project with somebody and you are, doing like a history project together, it's the same thing as if like we were going on a brand trip and we had to make content with another person.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, it's like a group project.
It's like a group project, and then all of a sudden you're not doing that content with that person anymore. It's like, oh my God, what's the drama? Are they not friends? It's the same thing as if I was in class, is we just did a project together and now we're just, civil in class, not really communicating because we're not friends. We're just classmates.
And you're just like, it's just like chill. Like, people are normal human beings that are allowed to not like each other. And I just hate the delusion of people, like, because it's literally what fucking happened with us. Like, people like just using like, I don't really like her. She gives me mean girl vibes.
Yeah.
As like a ruin her whole career.
Yeah.
Cancel her. What? Like, so you don't like someone, or you think that maybe that person doesn't like other people, which you're allowed to not like people. You think they should be like ridiculed.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention, you're leaving hate remarks on their post. That's worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're leaving troll comments on someone's page because you think they should be canceled, if you ever got a following, you will be canceled because you left troll comments.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, just be fucking nice to people. But like, oh, it just makes no sense. Like, everyone's human. Like, we're talking about a college girl in college classes. Like, you were never in college and like didn't really like some girl.
Yeah.
Be like, come on.
Be fucking for real.
Yeah. Like,
And it's
come
always
on.
too on social media. He said, she said, she said. Oh my God.
Sally
She
show.
said. But anyway, it's always that. Like, it's always like opinions and like what someone thinks or what someone believes. It's never like true facts. So it's like, why are we
Yeah.
believing everything that's coming from like some random ass source?
And the way I have looked at social media now, especially as people that have been on the receiving end of total crap, like, if someone doesn't give me hard facts to back it up, then I'm neutral.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be, the fact that people believe like, no, I was there and I saw her do this, and everyone just believes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you have no idea who that girl even is. Like, if you're not showing me hard facts, then I'm cool.
Yeah. Like I literally got like canceled on the internet from an encounter I made with someone for literally 10 minutes in my entire life. And all of a sudden that person just assumes they know everything about me.
Yeah, no, it's literally so weird how people just believe right away. And then especially with people like Alex, people build them up so much and like get so excited to see them like crumple to the ground.
Yeah.
And that's so sad.
So sad.
It's so sad and it's so pathetic.
So sad.
There's also just so many more things to care about.
Yeah, so many more things.
Like, you want to talk about like canceling people and like, because people will use like such like big words like, oh my god, you're disgusting, like you're this, like go fix like a real world issue. Like, you're so worried about.
There's been so many comments too of people just being like, you're so chronically online. I'm like,
no, it's
like for real though.
No, it's a disease.
Literally,
it's like truly a disease. Like, you guys need to go the fuck outside.
Yeah,
like for real.
Anyways, I'm so excited to get into this episode. Do you have anything else you want to wrap up on?
I was just gonna let everyone know that like I've been really putting my effort into TikTok and I've been like loving my TikTok content. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I'd really appreciate it because I've been like I found my niche. I'm doubling down. Like, I finally found like who I am on TikTok and it's really good. And then speaking of social media, you should follow the podcast on everything because we're going ham.
We all going ham. We're gonna be literally posting TikToks right after this.
Like posting TikToks, going crazy, posting on Instagram, like keep up with the girlies. Our TikTok account's cute.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. Well, we will transition into the episode with Shelby. I hope you guys enjoy.
Bye.
All right, guys, we are back now with Shelby. We're so excited to have her on. I did a little bit of an intro at the very beginning of the episode, but obviously I would love to hear it from you, where you're from, everything, kind of how you got into, becoming a business owner.
Well, my name's Shelby Sacco. I'm from Michigan. I'm a little Midwest girly. And I own two businesses. So 2 years ago, I was at rock bottom and started learning about habits and routines to try to improve my mental and my physical health. And then through habits, I literally transformed every area of my life, like from in terms of fitness, nutrition, daily habits. Like, I basically started my first business, which teaches habits and routines. And then I realized I love being a business owner. And I started basically in November working in the health and wellness space more directly, owning a company called Memory.
Awesome. Yeah. Would you give like a brief, explain to us what Memory is?
Memory is a company that creates products for daily brain gut nutrition. It takes a really holistic approach to health and wellness.
Got you. Cool. Is there any specific reason why you kind of got into that and why you wanted to take up space with that?
So it's kind of the same reason why I got into the space of being an influencer. I realized that people will just tell you things and people will either blindly follow them or people will say, do this, this, and this without teaching you how or teaching you why. And so I was personally looking for a daily, like a greens to start drinking and taking, and everything that influencers were promoting online, I would look into it and be like, wow, these products suck, like they're horrible. They're so bad. And it kind of ticked me off. So I found Memory and I basically started reaching out to them, trying the product, drinking it, tagging them, doing more research. And I realized that it was like an amazing product. Just no one knew about it because the company was a small business and it was so much better than basically everything online. So I got involved promoting it and then became an owner. But I think being in this space now blows my mind how like much my mind has opened to toxic marketing in the health and wellness space online through social media and influencers in general.
Yeah, I would definitely say like now Taylor and I have been doing obviously the podcast going up into 2 years in June, but even before that we were doing like social media and working with brands and stuff like that. And I didn't really care much about what I was putting into my body, like whatsoever. Like I thought greens was greens. It was good for you. It was healthy, but I was kind of just following like the taboo of every other content creator and influencer and just like promoting these things and act as if it was really like getting rid of my bloating and just like all this bullshit that you see on social media. So I will say I have fallen victim to being one of those content creators that like promotes that stuff. But within the last year, Taylor and I have gotten so much better about the foods and quality of things that we are putting into our body. So hopefully with this episode, we can kind of like debunk a lot of things and explain like the benefits of certain supplements. So that way certain girls don't have to fall into the bullshit we fell into.
Yeah. Even looking back, knowing, and it's like, I mean, I like the products in the time. I would never like purposely in the moment be like, oh, I don't like this, but I'm going to post it. Like, it's just like, obviously I'm posting my journey as I go. And like some things maybe fell through the cracks that like weren't the best, but like I'm just a human. But even now it's funny looking back and it's like, even like the flavorings of them being so like sweet and so good. And now like if I post like greens that I do like, and I take like every now and again, like I just like drink them sometimes. People are like, oh, do they taste good? I'm like, well, it is a greens powder. So like the ones you have that are like so sweet and like have all of this flavor, I'm like, it is green, so it doesn't taste like a soda, and like maybe yours shouldn't taste like a literal like pina colada, like we're like all this. I'm like, it's a greens powder.
Yeah.
I like both of those perspectives. I think sometimes people aren't, like, kind of what you were saying, they aren't aware, or especially with certain greens companies, they use people that aren't in the health and wellness space to promote the product, so they're not looking for it. They're kind of like getting paid, they use it. It's not like it's a horrible product and they hate it, but they don't actually know what they're promoting. I feel like I did that with so many things in the beginning, starting out as an influencer, where I was like, oh my gosh, why did I partner with that brand? Or like I didn't think things through in a way that I do now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually crazy the budget that most of these really big brands with specifically greens have for content creators. Like,
Oh my God.
it blows my mind.
I
Like,
want to know the back end of those deals so badly. Like, I want to know so bad. 'Cause,
every
like,
content creator see, like I'm swiping is like everyone is using those big brands, and I'm just like, I don't understand it.
So okay, it's funny you guys say that, but am I allowed to like name drop brands?
Yes. If you
Okay,
want,
so
if you want, yeah.
okay, so I'm like, I get really triggered by like the toxic marketing behind the greens company. And for example, like on the actual cost of how much money they have to promote or how much money they're putting behind things. Because like as an influencer, you can promote your own content, or you can see like, oh, spend this much, get this many views. For Kiala Greens, they find really, really small, they find people that are micro influencers or people with like 1,000 and 2,000 followers. They send them product in exchange for a video. And I've just had people DM this, like that have worked with them, tell me this. They exchange product for a video, and then they put so much money behind to promote that video. So I did the math, and they spend around $72,000 promoting the video, because each of their videos that they don't even pay to have made, they get around 8 million views, not organically, because the other videos in that person's page probably have like, and it comes, yeah, the other videos that the influencers will have on their page are like 200 views or things like that. So it's like very obviously clearly promoted. And then if you kind of do the math and look at like, if I spend, like, for example, say I put $1,800 behind a video on TikTok and like ad money, that would get anywhere from like 64,000 to 200,000 views. So then when you do the math to get to 8 million, which is what they do for like almost like so many videos, it's $72,000, which I think is so crazy.
There's even big influencers that are paid by greens companies whose that's their budget for like one video, which is like crazy. And obviously like for those people, like in a sense, like, I mean, I don't blame them, especially if you're not a health and wellness influencer and like you take the product, like you see nothing wrong with it for how it like affects you. At the end of the day, it's like the viewer's responsibility to into if they want to buy it or not. Like it's not necessarily like her folly, especially if they're on the health and wellness space. Like, you know, they drink it, they thought it tasted good, like it says green on it, like they're just gonna do their thing. And especially when you're putting price tags like they're paying, like I think like I don't necessarily blame the influencers, more so
the brands, especially because a lot of the required like briefing inside of like the post will be like, mention that it gets rid of your bloating, mention that it gets rid of XYZ, mention that it gives you more energy throughout the day. Like those are required things that the content creator is like supposed to talk about in those videos. So it's like that's not something that helps with the video that they're pushing out. So
I think that's a really interesting point too, like what brands require people to say. And then if you actually look at the ingredients, it like doesn't align or it doesn't make sense. Or brands just make the most like wild claims. Or for example, I worked with a brand and they wanted me to say that the product like covers cellulite or something like that. And I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm like, it doesn't do that, number one, and I'm not saying that, number two. And I actually had to like go through a legal battle to get out of that contract. But it was really, really crazy. Like I feel like people don't question it sometimes, or don't realize they have the power to question it, or like out of those situations.
Yeah. Another example I have is there's this meal prep company that I love working with, and I do work with on YouTube. And in their briefing, they had a requirement for me to mention like keto, that it's very heavy keto. And I'm like, well, I'm not, like, I've made it very clear in my page that like I'm not for keto. I do not believe in keto. I'm not mentioning keto. I will talk about other great factors of this meal prep company, but I'm not talking about keto. Yeah. So it's like you just need to be like more on top of it as a content creator and hold yourself more accountable for like what you do believe in when you are working with brands.
Yeah, I love that perspective too.
Yeah.
I did that with a brand that it was like an app that helped you. It was an app that generated like a bunch of recipes or like gave you so many ideas, but it also tracked calories, and they wanted me to like highlight that. And I was like, I don't believe in that. I really don't. I won't mention that. I can say I don't like the title of this app, but I think it's really useful if you're looking for new recipes. And then we like came to an agreement on that. So I think that's a really good point, is like having your morals and like staying with that.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Now, okay, I do have a question in regards to your greens. Obviously, we'll hype them up because that's what we're here for. What made, like, if you were to look at like the ingredients on like any other brand, we don't have to like name specifically a brand, but like what are things you would look at in a greens product that you're like, stay away from that and look elsewhere?
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, earlier also, I don't remember if you said this on air or off air, but you said you're bad at pronouncing words. I'm so bad at it. But greens labels, if you look at them, it's like a clear giveaway. It's like what I use for everything. Is there's a thing called, it's either a proprietary blend or proprietary blend. People like would comment that I was saying it wrong, and then I got it so mixed up in my head. But essentially,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like, oh my God, what, I need to write it on my hand, like how you pronounce it correctly. But when greens companies use that on their label, it's essentially a way for them to hide how much of what ingredient is in the product. So for example, say there is a greens company that puts like, here's their antioxidants blend, here's their greens blend, here's this. That allows them to essentially mix together a bunch of ingredients and put it on the label. So you don't actually know what the amount is in there. So for example, when you have a label, it goes like most used product to like least used product, right? But when you have the proprietary blends, you can mix in anything in there and you don't know how much of what is in that blend. So a lot of greens companies can hide how much, like what greens are actually in their product and make it really hard to figure out. So for example, I kind of like name dropping, I'm not gonna lie, just because it's like out there for
it's
like
honesty. It really is. Like I love like the honesty that like we give like value to with our audience too. So
if you look at like Bloom Green's label, they have so many different blends, which just allows them to like, I think it just allows them to lie. But if you look at their blends, and I just did a video of this, so I have notes on it, but only 25% of their product, their green superfood blend, that's only 25% of their product. If you include their fruit and vegetable blend, then their whole product is only 35% greens. But you wouldn't know that when you're looking at the label because it's so hard to figure out unless you're like I was almost trained to learn how to like read greens labels. So people wouldn't know. I also think brands just like slap greens, the name, on a product when there's no company out there that's a full serving of greens. My company, that's one thing that really stood out to me about Memory was that no other company can claim that they're a full serving of greens because they're not. Athletic Greens, it's not a greens. Athletic Greens is a multivitamin. It is an amazing product, amazing ingredients, but it is not greens. It's literally like a supplement replacement. Opposed to my company is a full serving of greens. So I think looking at the list of ingredients and looking for those proprietary blends and knowing it's going to kind of, it's more used for trickery than for honesty.
Yeah. Like another thing too is I want to ask is what are your thoughts on like greens being promoted for bloating? Like what do you
hate it. I hate it. It's so toxic. Okay, so if you think about it, if you have bloating issues, like drinking a greens powder, that is just covering up the problem. If you're bloating, there's something wrong. You need to make a lifestyle change, or you need to look and say, okay, what foods are making me bloat? Why is my body reacting like this? I think products that promote based on saying they can heal bloating, it's just a way to take advantage of someone's mind and take like hold of their insecurity and give them an unrealistic a product that's not going to be a solution. So for example, my product Memory has the exact same amount of fiber, which would help with bloating, that Bloom has. But if people ask us, will this heal my bloating, we'll say it has ingredients that will help bloating, but it will not heal your bloating, because there's no magic product that's going to heal your bloating. Or brands that say, will heal your stomach issues, will heal your acne, will this, or this, or say like summer's coming up, you need to get this product for bloating. It's like the toxic works, which is what the sad thing is. Like a lot of people in the industry they will say, put this ingredient in your product, put it in there so that you can claim this. and then go like drill home that point, drill home bloating, but it might not do shit for bloating, which it shouldn't be a solution for bloating anyway, because bloating would be coming from an underlying issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big thing with social media now in general for like every single supplement or trend, because talking about weight loss is kind of like taboo and people don't do that anymore because it's like body shaming. Now it's like gut health, and they just disguise wanting to lose weight as in like wanting to fix my bloating and heal my gut. Like, but they don't want to say like lose weight because it's like trendier and better to say like I'm gonna fix my bloating and fix a gut problem. When in reality, like you said, it also doesn't make sense because let's say the fiber thing, like some people's bloating is caused from too much fiber. Like
I like that point.
And some people's is caused by too little. So
Yeah.
how could you say like eating something with fiber is gonna help your bloating? Your bloating might be because you eat too much fiber.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, it's so stupid. The bloating like trend has gone too far.
And I also like what you said about like all the other things, like the acne and just like natural energy, all those things. Like someone will claim so quickly that a supplement is like fixing those things, when in reality, they changed so many other things in their routine. They maybe started drinking more water. They started taking care of like their sleep schedule. They started eating more veggies. But then the second they add the supplement in, they just instantly are like, it was the greens, it was the creatine, it was the protein that did it for me. That is now the reason why I have better skin or whatever it is. They never actually take accountability for everything else that they changed in their routine and just instantly go to the product.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly it. So I teach habits and routines, and people try to like point out one thing, like and I actually like both the points that were made, because also I've never heard anyone actually call out what people are doing in terms of not saying like this is how I lost it. Like people are like beating around the bush or like doing what's kind of trendy or what's acceptable, but it's never one thing that contributes to a lifestyle change, the change that people are after, the change that people want. It's multiple different aspects in different areas, and then people are looking for a quick fix. They're not looking for lifestyle changes. They want to fix their problem now, kind of like a short-term result. So then when they hear people advertising, like, even though maybe they have a great gym routine, they wash their face, they change their skin products, they drink water, they're saying, oh, this supplement helped me. They almost fall for that because that's easier for them to lean into and do than actually like going through and changing their lifestyle or addressing the root problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I listen to, do you listen to the Skinny Confidential?
Yeah.
Okay, you seem like you would. So,
I love that podcast.
Like, yeah, so like Michael on the Skinny Confidential always says that like he'll go in depth about his routine and how he wakes up at a certain time and takes all these supplements and he does the sauna for this, and he's like, people get so pissed when they hear him say all that because they're like, no one has time for all of that, because obviously they live a very like wealthy, nice lifestyle. They have a lot of time, a lot of like things available to them. And he's like, people get pissed being like, no one has the time for that. That's so unrealistic. And they would rather him be like, I just drink athletic greens and that's how I'm in shape. And he was like, but no, the truth is like, I do all of this shit every single day and like take all this stuff. And that's what I do every single day. You would just rather me say that I take this one vitamin and that's it and it cured everything.
Okay, I've never related to something so much. So I'm very, because I teach habits and routines, even before that, 2 years ago, that's how I changed my life. Like I have a 3 to 4 hour morning routine every day where I'm waking up, going and working out, going on a walk, making breakfast, doing affirmations, meal prepping. And I do that every single day. And people will turn it around and be like, you're not relatable. People don't have time for that. This is unrealistic. This is toxic positivity. This is this, and this. And I'm like, no, these are things that I did when I had no money, when I had a 9 to 5, when I was miserable. Those are things that I did to actually change my life and give me the life that I wanted. But people almost don't want to hear that, or they make excuses. Or you know what's weird is moms. Like moms are the meanest to me.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
Moms are so mean to me. And I'm like, you guys, I'm like, I want to be one of you. Like, stop that. And they'll be like, oh yeah, like I could have done that when I was that age. Or like, oh, like they just like belittle me. And then actually in my class I have a lot of moms, so then those moms will go and like fight in my comments and be like, you actually can do it. Like people would rather hate on something than stop and be like, oh my god, I can change my life, like I actually can do it. It's like I just really agree with that point. People like tell me I'm not relatable because I do these things. I'm like, but that's how I got this, that's how I got here though.
Yeah, and I think people,
they just don't understand that like you can tweak things around for what works for you. Like maybe, yeah, they don't have time for a 3 to 4 hour morning routine unless they get up at 3 a.m. and that's not going to work. Okay, so do a 1 hour morning routine. Do a 30-minute morning routine. Like you can make time for what you want to make time for. I just made a TikTok about this like 2 weeks ago, like calling everyone out, and everyone in the comments was like, well, like you just spoke to me so hard. Like you're right. Like I'm gonna get on it. Like I was like, if you say you don't have time for something, you're a liar. And I was like, and I do it too. Like I put off doing my laundry for like a week because like I don't have time. Yes, I did. Like that was bullshit. Like I literally had the time to do it. You have time for what you make the time for. Like, and if that means like maybe cutting certain things out, like obviously like not everyone's day is gonna look the same. But if you're like, I want to meal prep, but I don't have time, that's a lie. Like that's just a straight up lie because like, and I said like, what's your screen time? And some people get mad about that, but it's like it's true. Like how many hours really on Instagram today? Like cut a meal prep. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I actually have one tip of advice for you. Pay attention to what time of day you prefer doing laundry. So for example, if I told myself I was going to do laundry before bed, I'd be setting myself up for failure because I have a really hard time accomplishing those types of tasks at that time of the day because my willpower is already depleted. But I love laundry in the morning. Like I know I can be successful at it in the morning, but because I know I'm not successful at it at night, I don't force myself to do it. And then I set myself up for success by finding that time with the time that's going to work for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I need your like course.
Yeah, literally.
Because like I'm like really down bad when it comes to habits. Like people might think that I'm really good at it because I do like health and fitness stuff online, but I'm literally not at all. I'm actually terrible.
Wait, what's a habit that you want in your life right now?
Okay, so I made a really good one. My biggest one was not going on my phone in the morning. Crushed that. So good at it. I don't go on my phone in the morning. I read in the morning for like an hour. Like I killed that one. Like
I love that.
I cannot keep my room clean to literally save my life.
Okay, okay, love this.
If someone was like, keep your room clean for a week, or I'm literally shooting you in the head, like RIP. That's it.
Okay, I used to be the literal messiest person ever. I'm a basement child, born and raised. So I'm one of 6 kids. My parents dropped me to the basement so fast, which essentially means like I never had a bedtime. I never had to keep my room clean. My parents had no clue what I was doing down there. I was acting up. Actually, there were 3 of us down there and then 3 upstairs. But anyway, so I was the messiest person in the world. My college roommates actually, like, they called bullshit on my new life and they were like, you're lying. I'm like, I'll FaceTime you guys every single day and show, like, but this is what you're gonna do. One, there's actually 2 things that you can do. Do you have a morning or a nighttime routine?
Yeah.
What I do is in my nighttime routine, I do a quick, it takes me 5, maximum 10 minutes. I clean up my bathroom, my office, and then my bedroom. And then that way in the morning, I can get it messy. I don't like cleaning up right after myself sometimes. And I can be messy. I can be in a rush. I can do this and that. But every single night in my nighttime routine, I'm tidying up my space so that I'm starting the day without anxiety. For you to get to a place where you're able to start, this is the second habit. Every single Sunday, I have a list that I just tape on my wall. And it says like daily cleaning tasks, which are just like, okay, my bathroom, my office, taking dishes downstairs, starting the dishwasher or whatever. Weekly tasks, which is like vacuuming, putting away clothes, doing laundry, wiping down surfaces, taking out trash. And then I have monthly. And in monthly, I put things that I do more than once, maybe like washing my bedding, but I don't do it every single week. And then on Sunday at 3 p.m., and it doesn't have to be Sunday at 3 p.m., but a time that works for you that you can keep consistent, you can say, okay, I'm going to go through this list and just go through the list, tidy up. But what's so fun about it is you just have that dedicated time for it. But during the week, if you have time to do something, you look at that list and say, oh, I could take out all the trashes right now. And you get to check it off, which gives your brain a small reward. And then actually kind of like, it helps you, it sets you up for success throughout the day because when you get one small reward, you're actively looking for other small ways to feel good. But then it helps you consistently maintain it with this like fuel-proof habit. And then what's cool about that is if you're ever traveling and say you choose Sunday at 3 p.m. to like clean up your space, you can say, okay, throughout the next week, I know I'm going to be gone this weekend. I'm just going to go through my cleaning list that I'm on top of it. I can stay consistent with it, even if I can't complete that habit on Sunday.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same way with like cleaning my room before I go to bed. If I go to bed and my room's a mess and I wake up and my room's a mess, like I'm literally like anxious to the core, like immediately when I wake up. So part of my nighttime routine is like making sure my closet's clean. Because if I walk into my closet and there's shit all over the place, I'm gonna lose my mind and not be able to find an outfit. Or like if I go into my room and like I have stuff on the ground near my bed, like I lose my mind. So that's part of my nighttime routine is cleaning my room.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's easy. I could definitely do that. I love my nighttime routine.
Yeah.
I could do that. what I was gonna say, I don't like spending time in my room. Like I sleep in there and I don't do anything else in there. Like I'm especially now, like our house is 3 stories and like the living space is on the second floor and I'm on the third floor. So like I wake up, I get out of there, like and then I change in there. I'm like never in there. Like today I laid on my bed to charge my phone in there for like 10 minutes before we recorded this. And like that's weird for me. So that's why sometimes like if my room's a mess, like I literally just don't go in there, so I don't care. Like I'm never in there. I'm in there to change my clothes and to sleep, and that's it. And then I just kind of like forget it exists. I just don't hang out in my room ever.
That's fair. I actually don't go in my room either. I made my master bedroom at my house my office. So like I spend all the time here. So typically I like clean up this space every night.
Love that. Yeah, honestly, we're coming here like
To
on our
record.
days.
I know we have this big office, and like
Office.
I want to start working in here
Yeah.
so bad, but I literally just work on the kitchen table
Yeah.
or on the couch so
Yeah.
bad. Whatever. Okay, so wait, what do you exactly? I saw on your page you have like challenges or whatever. What exactly like do you do with like the habits and stuff? Like what's like your role in that and like switching that with people?
For the challenges.
Yeah, like because you said you have 2 businesses, so one's is like the greens, and then this is like the habits and the routines. Like, what does that look like for you?
So the challenges are just something that I do on social media that basically when I was sad, I couldn't find anyone on social media that was like teaching habits and routines. And I felt like it was just like messing with me. Like there was no one explaining it. So when I do challenges, it's like a really good way to like target people that want to change their life and then give them step by step how to do it to set them up for success. So those are all just like for free. I just post them and then like follow up with people, or I have them tag me and I make it fun and do like giveaways with them. But my second business, so it was actually my first business. I started it in April of 2021. Is I teach a 6-week class. So over the 6-week class, and those are people that actually pay for the class. And typically I do everything for free on my pages. Like I teach every single habit, I go over everything, I answer all questions, but sometimes people need like a direct way to learn accountability, like step by step walking through it, a place to ask questions. And so in that class over 6 weeks, I teach how to wake up early, self-love habits, everything about habits, like habits, the concept of keystone habits, how to get 1% better, all the background information. Then I teach waking up early, self-love, health and fitness habits, how to form a morning routine, a nighttime routine. We work through your 4 quadrants, which are like your health set, heart set, mindset, and soul set, and how to like deliberately work in each area. We go over habits for the weekend, like cleaning, kind of the one I explained to you. Like cleaning, grocery shopping. We go over breakups, anxiety, habit loops, things like drinking or binge drinking, or how to just change really any habit. And then we plan for goals in the future. And then we also plan for things like moving, deaths, breakups, any big life event that will like kick you off your habits and how to actually get back on track. So it's like a 6-week crazy course on how to change your entire life.
Okay, literally in the catch up before this, I was saying how like recently I went through a really good phase for like a while. Like it was good, like 2-3 months where like I was really good about like really not drinking that much. Like I was really on my shit. And then recently, like I just go 2 balls to the walls and then I regret it for a week and I literally hate myself. And I was just talking about it in the catch up how like Sam needs to like literally like be on my ass all the time. And you saying like part of your habit thing is like getting people to stop doing that. Like I'm literally about to sign up.
I think you would like it a lot.
No, like I genuinely like because it's something like it's like you want to do something and like something's not good for you and then you end up doing it and you're like, what the fuck did you do that?
And then you just reinforce the same anxiety or the same feelings. And you kind of stay stuck in that consistent habit loop. I would say like drinking on the weekend, then feeling like trash, not feeling good from Monday through Friday. Whoop, one more time. Like where in that situation, there's a few things that I could recommend. One is in the situation, say you are drinking. Drinking is like a habit loop. So for example, my old one, I went to Michigan State, which is like essentially a crazy party school. And my cue for creating a habit of literally binge drinking, like I'm a heavyweight somehow, like I could drink 12 shots. It's disgusting. I don't know how. My sister, 2 shots, she's actually passed out. I'm like, well, I'm like, why'd they give me that? But anyway, my habit loop was like cue if I was at pre-games. My routine would then be just chugging vodka, like straight chugging it, putting in a water bottle, taking just shots. And then my reward was technically I felt like I did what I had to do to have fun. Like I felt like that was going to make me have a good time. That was going to make me happy. That was going to bring me joy. So when you look at it in terms of that for a habit loop, what I want you to do is say like, what are my cues? Like what is triggering me to drink? Is it a long week? Is it stress? Is it these things? Because if it is, you're really looking for the reward and you've taught your brain this action of, oh, if I'm stressed and anxious, I can have a drink. and that's going to make me feel less stressed, less anxious. It's going to give me relief. But in reality, when you have a habit, the cue and the reward are linked. The routine actually does not matter. We only have the routine as part of our habit loop because we've taught that to ourselves. So for example, if you're feeling stressed and anxious and that's why you're drinking, then you would want to look for a different routine to replace it with, like calling a friend, going on a walk, doing things like that, that will relieve your stress and anxiety, because you're really just looking for a cure to that. But then in terms, for me, if I know that I'm still going to be in pre-games or still go in those situations and that's my cue, I would say, okay, my routine's chugging vodka. I should just take away access to vodka. I'm not going to buy vodka. I'm not going to buy a bottle. I'm not going to bring a bottle. I'm not going to take shots. I'll bring 2 mixed drinks and know that that's what I'm going to have at the pre-game so that I can control that habit loop.
That's literally what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We were literally just talking about that because we'll like go out to, like, we do a lot of bar hopping. So I think our thing is like, each time we go to a new bar, we're buying another drink, and it's just like it ends up being a lot of drinks while we're out. And I think too, with like if we're going out, getting water at the bar,
or then we leave, and then it's like, oh my god, like finish your drink, like we're leaving. So you're like, oh, now I have to like down this in 2 seconds because everyone says we're leaving. Like, shit, like I'll just drink it. Like, and then before you know it, it's like, oh my god, like why did I drink that so fast? Like, but you're just like, oh, everyone said we have to leave, and like you paid for it, so you're not like sitting there. But like, so yeah, it just like ends up being messy. But I'm gonna like, no, now that's it. I've said it on the podcast too many times in this episode, so that's it.
I love that. I love that. That's what you do. Like the habits like classes. I think
I'm
so
cool. Into it. I'm like so into it.
Yeah. Anyone listening right now, like if you feel like you've not like been like triggered, but you feel like, oh, that's me, or like you heard something that Shelby said, like you know the girl to go to. Like go to her Instagram, go to her DMs, like hit her up.
Yeah, no, I could literally talk about that for actually hours. I'm very, very intrigued by it. I'm gonna like stalk this shit out of your Instagram because like, I've seen your TikTok, but I never like looked at like the habit stuff on Instagram. So I'm like, now I'm gonna go there and look at all of it because I'm so
my god. Look at my podcast too. I teach literally every single habit, but like I'll spend like 30 to 40 minutes going like breakdown on the habit. Or I just
will send. Got it. I'll listen to it right after this.
I think I have one on drinking. What'd you say?
The name of your podcast?
Sad to Savage.
Sad to Savage. Love that.
Hey. That's actually the name of my class too. But I just finished my 14th and 15th session of the class on Monday. I think I've had around 500 to 600 students since April.
Wow. Changing lives left and right.
Good for you.
It's so fun. I've never gotten a question that I can't answer too until this last, like I love questions. My sister was in my class and she texted me during class one time. She's like, every time you get a question, I get so much anxiety. And every time you're so good at answering, I have a question. I'm like, I know. I'm like, that's literally my job. Like, I know. But someone asked me, they're like, oh, how do you have any advice for how to respond to people over text or how to manage that? And I just sat there and was like, no, I'm horrible at my phone. I'm like, that's actually the first thing I cannot give advice on that. I do not feel comfortable. I would be lying.
Yeah. That's funny.
That is funny.
Yeah, I'm not the best on my phone either. Text messages, people will be like, why didn't you answer my text? I'm like, I saw it. I don't know. I think it's also because we do work on our phones.
Yes, you can tune it out so much easier.
Yeah, like if I'm editing something and the text pops up on the top of the screen, my brain will read that. And I'm like, okay, like after I'm done editing this TikTok, I'll go answer it. And then I just completely forget and then I don't go answer it.
Or I've got like, you ignored like my text, but you were like literally on Instagram. I'm like, dude, I was working.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was working. Like I wasn't just on my story. Like I was like doing my job.
Yeah. So it doesn't help that we all work on our phones.
Yeah.
So funny. I think that is why it's so hard. I love that too. My sisters will call me and they'll be like, you literally posted stories today. I'll be like, you guys. Seriously? I'm like, did you even look what they were? This is my job, you guys, being on my phone. My boyfriend gets it though. He's so funny.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. Well, do you have anything to wrap this up? Obviously, give yourself a nice little plug of all your socials and everything like that.
Okay. My Instagram and my TikTok are both Shelby Sacco 5. And then my class is Sad to Savage 6-week class. If you want to apply for it, I have it in my bio on both profiles. And then if you're looking for greens, and if you're actually looking for like adding greens into your diet, to add it into your lifestyle, if you're not getting them enough, I drink 2 to 3 servings a day. So I know that I'm doing something for my health and I'm getting 2 to 3 servings. I'm not drinking it for all these different things. I'm doing it because it's a lifestyle change, one small way that I can get better. And I'm improving my health that's in a realistic and in a sustainable way. I also have a code that's just Shelby in all caps for memory for a percentage off. I don't make money off of that, but I just give it so that people can try it.
Yes. Yeah. Love that. That was like the
Cool.
best like ad for greens I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like people need to be better at it. Like, oh goodness.
Yeah, so everyone, this will be up like this Friday.
Yeah, this Friday.
And, like there'll be a bunch of posts about it, and we'll like tag you and stuff and whatnot. And if you guys like go to her page from us, like comment on her post that you're from the podcast, that you listen from the podcast, because we like to see people like go comment on like your post that they came from the podcast, and it's like cool to see.
Yeah.
I love that. I would love that.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much, Shelby. We absolutely loved this episode. So
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I love getting to talk to you guys.
of course. Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye, guys.